The end times is upon us and the men of Middelheim must hold the line. Hey, how's it going? My name is jackiefishhh and welcome back to another lore battle on Warhammer 2. Today we are doing the end times once again at Middelheim, as we do have this epic 3 vs 3 ready to show us an entertaining battle. We have Chaos and Beastmen attacking up against the defenders, which are mainly made up of men, and we do have, I think, a few dwarfs scattered out throughout there. You can see some runic golems right here, and the grand cannon of Middelheim, which I believe has just shot its first ball, and I imagine devastating the ranks of anything coming up against it, because that is one hell of a cannon, don't get me wrong. It's not quite a hell cannon, but it is one hell of a cannon. So we do have the initial assault going up on this right hand side, and we are using a whole range of mods in this battle today, so I'll make sure to link the entire collection down below. If you see anything you'd like, you can go ahead and check them out. So we're going to be having a range of Chaos Gods, obviously Nurgle, Slanesh, Khorne and Tzeentch as well. All four of them are going to be making an appearance in today's battle. We have kind of like a minor assault over on this right hand side, and then we have more Beastmen, I believe, over in the center. They're going to be supported by some of Tzeentch balls right here. Oh my god, look at these bad boys right there. Just gone for a nice little spray tan, ready for battle. Then as we go over on the left hand side, we do have some of the Slanesh Gors. Again, these guys looking very beautiful with their purple spray tan. And then I believe the Chaos Forces are mainly situated over here. Maybe not. Maybe it is just all Beastmen today. I definitely have seen some Chaos Warriors, so we know they are going to be making an appearance. But I guess this is a lot more of Beastmen. Again, I'm not really, like quite knowledgeable in the lore, especially around the end times. However, there is some crazy shit that does go down. I know it's going to be epic. Look at the defenders' forces real quickly before jumping into the battle. We do have some of the Hochland rifles. They're going to be supported by some more of dismounted Knights of the Blazing Sun, and we have them ready at the gate to hold back the invaders. Oh, it's looking very beautiful. Moving inwards on the city, we do have some more of the White Wolves from Kislev, and I imagine that is a Kislevian general right there. We continue. Oh, it could have been Sigmar, to be honest. No, not Sigmar, but it could have been France, who eventually will ascend into being Sigmar. As we continue to go back, more White Wolf swords. I guess they have come down from Kislev as the Chaos Hordes do push in. Some Peasant Knights right here. These guys are looking very nice. They do have Knights of a Blazing Sun armor, and basically just a whole bunch of other soldiers, which will be very interesting indeed. So let's jump into the battle, then we'll go up to normal speed and get this lore battle underway. So we're initially going to be getting the outer assault. Ladders are now at the wall as they do go toe to toe. Some Bestigor is going to be marching up, hitting the heavy infantry. And I mean, this looks like a pretty tanky ass unit. Some Teutonic Guard right here, wielding huge warhammers. I'm sure they'll be more than capable of dispatching these Bestigors, and you can see that's exactly what they are doing right now, killing these guys and actually already dealing with that unit. That is very nice. As we continue to rotate more around the battlefield, as the artillery of the Hellstorm Rocket Battery goes in, as we can see more ladders being pushed up, ready to assault the walls. And really, this is just what the attackers need to do. They need to stretch the defenders as much as possible, so they can't deploy, all their units and defend every single breach. Eventually, something will have to give. But at the moment, the defenders are making quick work. I imagine we'll be seeing a better push up right here, as they continue to make their way up with the battering ram. I mean, yeah, if we take a look at the attackers right now, we can see that they are trying to go from every single angle, and actually managing to make a little way up here. No, again, they're being pushed back by the hammers of Sigmar, seeming very strong right now. A breach point just needs to erupt, and that's when I think the Beastmen and Forces of Chaos will really start to benefit, because then they can honestly just push forward. And we know that here as well, you have the runic golems right there throwing their satchel charges. This seems like a really hard defense at the beginning. However, the right-hand side is completely undefended right now. Are they falling back? It doesn't look like, yeah, the dwarfs are actually falling back right now. The cowards. It's not like a dwarf to fall back. I would assume Slayers would have been charging into this battle. But I guess they decided that they couldn't defeat the Forces of Chaos. Obviously being the stronger attacking force right now. These Plague Reapers going to be able to cause massive damage. So I guess it is sensible for the Dwarven forces to fall back. And honestly, if I was Chaos right now, I would shift my entire force around and try and help out along the rest of the wall, because they're making progress, but they're losing a lot of numbers. So if they could speed up this assault, that would come in and pay pretty big dividends for them, I think, in the long run. Because these hammers of Sigmar are just demolishing the attackers as they do come up these ladders. Now, I'm pretty sure in Warhammer that the people who do come up across ladders here get a huge debuff to their stats. But even still, they are just demolishing them. I mean, it only gives them a debuff to leadership, really. At least that's what I can see. And it's just a pile of dead beastmen laying on the ground. Apparently I was 14 there with a little voice crack. I'm so excited to get back into Warhammer once again. Obviously we've got multiple empires coming out very, very soon. Like midway through next month. And if you guys are excited to see Warhammer on the channel and do want to see more of this type of content, more lore battles, more custom scenarios, then just be sure to go drop a like and a comment, because it's been a while since I've last done Warhammer. But I'm really excited to see a whole bunch of new fresh content coming out for the game. So we can do plenty of more epic new custom maps. I'm sure there has been now a bunch of new custom maps as well. All the Huckland rifles are opening up on these Chaos Spawns, the Regiment of Renown, and they're taking a lot of damage right now. I guess the battering ram didn't manage to actually make it to the gate itself, and now they're going to be getting shot to pieces. They're glitching out right now, not managing to make their way forward. They need to, honestly, though. We also have more and more soldiers being brought up here. Finally, some more elite soldiers. We do have some pestigors and more ladders. Finally, they are seizing this opportunity to use multiple parts of this wall to attack the enemy. We also have the cool-looking steam tanks here as well, hammering away at the defenders, and obviously the Luminarch as well in a perfect overview position right now, just to hit anything that comes its way. Now, granted, I would be pushing up maybe my Harpies now to try and take out this Luminarch, or at least keep it busy, especially with these undefended gunners right now. These are what, no engineers? These guys hammer away. Unfortunately, though, it doesn't look like they're going to be able to get their shots off. No, here they are, and they're going to do a lot of damage. Like, I'll be getting my Harpies to assault these guys whilst everyone else is pushing up. Because, yeah, they basically shoot out mini shotguns, and they'll do a ton of damage. The Hammers of Sigma are still not going down. I mean, these guys have barely even lost a man, and they've killed so many units. It's crazy. That unit seems extremely OP, as now finally the gunners being taken down by missile fire, and it does look like a breach point is starting to occur. The sheer weight of numbers from the forces coming in big. And soon enough, because I feel like once one breach point goes in this battle, the other ones will start to fall, because the one breach point will then be able to go surround the other breach points, quickly, evaporating into more and more soldiers coming in, and then more and more breach points being assaulted. So I feel like it is just a matter of time until these outer walls do go out, especially with the arrow fire as well. I think this needed to be one of the first things that happened in this battle. Yeah, this unit of two-handed hammers obviously don't have a lot of missile protection. So the arrow fire is going to be doing a lot of damage to these guys. Now we have some of Snesh's chosen beastmen making their way up. The piles of beastmen is actually pretty crazy. Like, them Hammers of Sigma seem crazy good. But the waves just keep on coming. And we even have some Chaos Dwarves in this battle. Very nice. Very nice indeed. Some Chaos Dwarfs feed Dwarfs. I guess they're going to come take out the Runic. Oh, that cannon going off as well. Holy crap. I think a cannon shot there. I mean, it's a pretty a gnarly angle, but... So the rest of the other Chaos Force is just moving on the rest of its forces. Now, as I said, like, I'm really surprised they didn't move any sooner to go and harass this. But we're going to be having the other forces of the Beastmen being pushed up now as well. Yeah, they're pushing up this battering ram, but honestly, I don't think they can sit back and wait. I think they honestly just need to get into the battle straight away. Now, granted, the forces of chaos here are going to be really useful at opening up the breach point right there. But, this is just a death trap right now. The Rangers have a perfect vision over the street, and it's extremely hard to get to them. The forces of the attacking side just honestly need to push around the flanks and just go and help out elsewhere. Because if they can get all of these units inside the city, it's just going to be donezoed for them. Like, the defenders are just going to have such a weak push right there. Nice flaming skull right there, going to be pushing back. Ripping through a lot of these defenders. And now the Beastmen have made their way into the battle. This is going to be very, very good news for them. They can start to use all of these corn balls, which I imagine are the most ferocious warriors of all. I would definitely, if there was one Chaos God which would like kind of imbue themselves within a Gore Ball, it would definitely, I would like, the one I would least choose is probably the Corn Ball. And then probably Slanesh, because I don't know what the Slanesh Gore Ball would do to me. The Gunners, though, are in a really perfect position right up on this position right here. Yeah, the Gunners, the no engineers, who do shoot out very, very fast and then repeated Gunners, can just basically just open up on this position. But we are getting loads of beastmen just ravaging the positions. You've got the Hounds coming in as well with the Zinch Balls as well, killing the Hammers of Sigma, and that's going to be winning them up. Like, obviously, they're very good at anti-infantry. Basically, just more and more men need to be pushed into here. Maybe hammering these Hammers of Sigma in the back would be a great idea with them Gore Balls if they can make their way around. So this is exactly what I'm saying now. You know, the breach points have been opened up as the artillery comes flying in. And now the breach points are opening up. They should be sending support elsewhere. And just allowing the rest of the force to move its way into the city. You can see right here as well, all of them Hammers are now done. Just a few Gunners left remaining. Over on by the Great Cannon. I think these units are maybe glitched out more than anything else. But hopefully they will be assembled very soon. More ladders being brought up to the walls. I know the walls are a little bit glitchy. The forces of chaos just being held back. Like, there's no point holding your units back. You need to be pushing, but I guess it is very hard for them to break forward here. But with the support of the other army as well, that battering ram being brought up, that will open up another breach point for all of these units just to pour forward and help out the other chaos army. Because I definitely agree with their decision making here. Going through that breach point right here is just a massacre. You know, you can see you've got Gunners and Rangers all along here. It's better just to abandon this, let them commit men defending here, and simply just focus on another position, especially because this is going to be completely opened up as soon as this gate goes down. Then the other soldiers can come flying forward. They need to be very careful though, because these, I imagine, are Slayers, are they not? No, these are Berserkers. They are anti-large, and there's a lot of large in the army just waiting to come inside the city. So they need to be extremely careful not just to throw away their expensive giants and other units against these huge Berserkers. Like, it just won't pay. It just won't work for them, and they'll lose a huge portion of their forces. A lot of the beastmen now overwhelming the defenders, but I mean, look at the amount of casualties just lying on the ground already. And the Zinch Balls have actually made their way forward. These guys proving so strong with the Slanesh Balls. Like, all these Gore Balls are just doing so great with the help of the Centaurs as well. Ripping through the defenders and securing this part of the city will be a great step in the way of victory, honestly. As I imagine, yeah, we do finally see some more reinforcements turning up here, trying to help out and kill the Hammers of Sigma, who are just simply holding that battle line. Honestly, they could win that engagement, which would be pretty crazy. The Ice Mage right here, that's a pretty cool unit, and I like the custom banner as well. He looks very cool. The Ice Mage indeed. The attackers are pushing up here onto the secondary layer of defense. They're just being shot to pieces by the guns. They really are taking them down.
Go! Taking position!
And as soon as this kind of outer defense does break, it's going to be a very spragged defense, honestly. But we have the pig horrors of Zinch. These guys are so strong. They're basically just like a flamethrower unit. They are really, really good. And they're going to be being brought up inside the city as the other chaos forces are now being engaged. We do have the giant actually being pushed up here. Oh no, this is actually one of the chaos lords, the Bloodletter of Khorne. This guy is very, very strong. But the berserkers of the dwarfs have met their match, and they are ready to die and go to the afterlife if that was needed. Oh, Archeon has also turned up. And you can see he outputs a crap ton of damage when he does charge in. Plenty of buffs though being brought off onto the forces, but it does like this side of the battlefield is going to be opened up. However, the crossbows for the dwarfs are going to be focusing down on these pink horrors of Zinch, and I think they're going to be noticing that and trying to get out of there. No, they're going to be trying to open up the breach point back here actually. And that's actually a runesmith they're going to be trying to burn. Doing some actually nice damage, but he does have the Rune of Negation on him right now, so he's going to be negating, obviously, a decent amount of that damage. And all this time, you know, they're going to be losing quite a few of these pink horrors to the crossbows of the dwarfs as they continue to come in. I mean, these are gunners dwarfs. They're not easily messed with, and you can see they are ripping apart the pink horrors of Tzeentch very, very nicely. Finally, though, their flamethrowers are coming off, and they're going to be hitting the dwarfs. Let's see how much damage they're going to be doing. Again, just bouncing off the Slayer line breakers. Now these guys are going to charge down and make their debut into the NFL. I guess we'll have to wait and find out as more and more of the force is just getting absolutely slaughtered. Over here as well, it just seems like the defensive positions are far too great for the defenders, much like they should be. But I also kind of feel like maybe the defenders just don't have, have too much money or something with their elite units, because it's a hard job for these Chaos Warriors to break through. But now we are starting to see, I guess as well, the majority of the initial assault was a lot of crappy Beastmen units. And now we're starting to see more of the elite Beastmen units and also the Chaos Warriors. We have some Tzeentch Warriors right here with their deformed claws. So now more of the elite units are breaking their way into the fortress or the city itself. And I imagine as well, yeah, we have like units like this giant will be, ideal for taking out these Hammers of Sigmar. But the Knights Panther as well with their halberds are probably anti-large, so they'll be doing great against them. Do we have any other heroes? Like, we have lots of reinforcements back here, which I think should be being brought up to the city. Some pretty nice units. I love the battering ram for the Beastmen as well. All the siege equipment in Warhammer is really well designed. Like, the look of it feels so unique. It's just a shame that they don't go ahead and kind of add more like interesting sieges into Warhammer, because it kind of feels like they're just pushed to one side. Again, the Chaos Forces, so it looks like this side of the city has been negated, which I definitely think is the smartest decision. There's no point trying to hit anything up there. Just focus and condense all your forces along this area of the battlefield, because you can definitely get a lot done. As we do have Archaon leading the charge here with the Bloodletter, and they're going to be charging in here against the Dwarven Warriors, and we also have some of the Razor Gore herds as well. Plenty of them looking like they did die. And this Bloodletter is just charging through the ranks. He's not stopping. The Line Breaker's going to make their debut in the NFL. No, I'd rather have this guy in my Blood Bowl team. That is very, very true. Holy crap. He just did not stop, and he is hammering the artillery, which is the smartest move he could be doing. These, obviously, artillery pieces will be doing a lot of damage, but the Slayer Line Breakers are coming up. But they are being dismantled pretty quickly. And this is one of the Chaos Legendary Lords, so very strong. And that's a really good move right there, because pushing that back there is going to go ahead and delay a lot of the forces. We do, I imagine, get some explosive flasks right here hitting the Pink Horrors. But yeah, pushing the Bloodletter all the way back there is going to be forcing the Dwarfs back, and that's going to allow the rest of their forces to make their way up pretty unscathed, as we do have some Chaos Dwarf right here as well, trying to return some of the crossbow fire. It's drawing a lot of the attention towards the back of the battle. And because of that, it's just allowing so many more reinforcements to bring their way up. We are going to be getting some of the Dwarfs, though, charging down, hammers in hand, trying to slay Archaon. But he is the Ever-Chosen, aka the Never-Chosen. But I mean, with one swipe, he's doing a lot of damage right there. And I'm sure in the third Warhammer game, we'll be getting much more of a better version of Archaon. Because I think a lot of people are in, pretty, they pretty much know that it's going to be the end times in the last game, Chaos Gods up against everyone else. We do actually have one of the legendary brass balls. Is this guy cool? Oh my god, he got some flying there by the steam tank. He's trying to take it out, but I mean, he's fully HP'd, whereas his steam tank is very close to going down. Yeah, it does look like that Taurox, the brass ball, is going to be enough to smash down and take out this steam tank. I imagine he's armor piercing, but he gets in a strike every so often, and that seems to be more than enough. The Manticores here, just cleaning up what remains of the forces. Yeah, it doesn't look like there's anything left here. besides 2 brave dismounted knights of the Blazing Sun, somehow still alive in this pit of death. And they're going to be able to push on here. The giant bow, just like he's going down, the repeated no engineers are now just focusing down this giant, and they're going to take him down very, very nicely. He might just get around the corner just in time. No, he's going to be held in place. Get one swing off, but I imagine the gunners will be flying them off. We do have some Centaurs though, and this is free game right now. Just charge into all of these no engineers, and you'll just take them out. What general do we have back here as well? We have Kazrak. Kazrak needs to get his ass up here into the fight. Archeon demands it, as more and more of the heavy infantry now making their way into the battle itself. We see them smashing away on the front lines. And the rest of the Centaurs flying into battle. The crossbows shooting overhead. Yeah, they're just going to get their asses up into this engagement. We do have some of the Chaos Warriors now as well, just dismantling the Dwarven Warriors. Using their mobility. Oh, Ungrim is actually fleeing from battle right now. I mean, he's not fleeing, he's a slayer. He can't technically rout, but he does have his back turned to the enemy. And I feel like that's a thing Ungrim shouldn't, and couldn't have done. So now basically what the defenders can do is they can situate a lot of these forces back around. You know, obviously defending the main keep of the city. And I mean, how good would Warhammer have been if you could actually like garrison these buildings and stuff? Because I mean, visually, Middelheim looks amazing, right? But it would have been so awesome if siege battles were actually better designed in Warhammer and not just kind of there for the sake of being there. But you can have such amazing stuff. So just like the Taurox, the brass bull has just stopped in his tracks now after the tank did actually get away, surprisingly enough. Rest of the infantry does pour in. More and more infantry as well, flying their way into battle. And the rest of the Chaos Forces moving up. But balance of power is so in favour of the defenders right now. They outnumber the Chaos Forces 2-1. Oh my god, this battle definitely could have been balanced better, I feel. Because at the moment, like, it's just not even close. The defenders are going to push them back. I mean, don't get me wrong, like, still keep on watching. We're going to get some epic cinematics. But, you know, like, this battle is just not going to be close. The Chaos Forces are just being dismantled by the defenders. I feel like maybe the defenders just needed another player. Like, if this was like a 4v3, whereas we have 4 attackers and 3 defenders, maybe then it would have been a little bit more smoother. And the attacking side actually would have had a chance to win. Is Archeon fighting anyone in particular? He's fighting a Runic Lord. Or a Rune Lord. And I imagine he's going to come out on top of this. He better come out on top of this. If he doesn't, it'll be very embarrassing. He's actually getting... I mean, I'm not sure if that's just because, you know, he's been taken down or whatever already. So more and more infantry just turn out. The Bloodletters flying in. And they should definitely help out. Yeah, they're cutting him down very quickly. And more of the Pestigors flying in as well. We do actually have the brigade of... Oh my god, the Chaos are actually falling back right now. Why are they giving up this defensive point right here? Taking one of the crucial points, giving the morale buff. I don't really know why the defenders fell back so much. They didn't need to. They could have easily have just killed it up. I mean, I understand if they fall back because, you know, they're getting beaten back. But they clearly have the advantage in the battle. Doesn't make sense to give up the city. But they are going to be taking the rest of this position right here. I mean, taking this away from the enemy is going to give it a great morale bonus, especially once this Rune Smith goes down as well, which I believe he has actually done. Wow, he died very, very quickly. And we are going to be getting the last kind of reserves, the last units come flying into the city now, which is going to be pretty crucial because the Beastmen definitely do need more soldiers to help bolster their attack. Oh, we do actually have the Brass Bull as well flying into battle against the White Wolves. I mean, maybe this battle is going to be much closer than I'm saying, and I'm just completely wrong. Because again, maybe it's been the opposite of complete reverse, I should say. Whereas the forces have good used all their elite units to hold the walls, and now they've fallen back with kind of more of their crappier units. And vice versa, the Beastmen used their crappy units to take the walls. So now the forces of Chaos have a lot of elite units left, whereas the forces of the Empire have a lot fewer units left. But I mean, I've seen some pretty tanky dwarves back here, lots of line breakers and stuff. But it is also quite nice. Yeah, there's still a lot of elite units here. It's still really nice though to come back here because it's very like not too often you get to fight in this open field back here in Middelheim. Normally the battle is decided in the streets. What brave dwarf is still standing in this pit of just one? Is there just a couple line breakers right there? Oh, and he just got his head chopped off. Final swing though, taking out a few more HP off of these units, but yeah, that's insane. I mean, look how deadly these units look as well. They look insane. But now that's cleaned up, I imagine we're going to be seeing the attackers getting ready for their final assault. We can already see it starting to kick off over here. They are getting shot to pieces right now, as we do have, who's this? GEFORCE, the Beast Lord, being shot at by a lot of crossbow bolts. Are they crossbow bolts or are they archer bolts? And they look like crossbow bolts, right? Yeah, the dwarves are going to be taking the outer position with all of their hunters, their treasure hunters, which are quite fitting in Warhammer 2, right? Because you can now go treasure hunting in all of the runes. Bizarro fight is finding its mark, and he just seems to just be sitting there and taking it. I imagine they're just waiting for more and more of this infantry to finally turn up before pushing in and assaulting out. We can definitely watch the brass ball just decapitate a whole bunch of these White Wolves, who honestly just got drew a short end of the straw, right? It's like, yeah, you guys are on this position. There's not going to be a lot of enemies coming through with this position, but you guys just hold a defensive line there, and then all of a sudden they just see the fucking legendary lord. Some ferocious beastmen. Yeah, they don't stand a chance. I'm sure he's imbued with a whole ton of magic as well. I mean, with them axes, one swing could literally take out probably the entire unit. So we're going to be pushing on here on the left-hand side, initiating, trying to draw away more and more defenders. We're also seeing more reinforcements pushed up here as well. And a lot of the archer fire. Oh, there's crossbow fire for the Chaos Dwarves. Just disintegrating these other miners on the front line, but also they're being hammered pretty heavily by their own artillery or their own satchels. Oh no, these are a cool unit, the Iron Drake Grenadiers. They look really cool. I like their backpacks on the back. It makes a really nice addition. The Grenadiers are doing great at just integrating this lightly armored infantry. I mean, there's still a decent amount of archers back here, which could definitely do stuff, or I should say crossbows from the Chaos Dwarves, but I think it's going to be enough, honestly, to break the defensive lines of the Empire. More infantry being pushed up as well. We do have some Plague Reapers. That's going to be a pretty valuable unit to have towards the end. But as we can see, the balance power is so heavily in favour, and there's still so many breach points. Now, it wouldn't be a bad idea to send more soldiers round this flank now, try and break through against the line breakers. But it looks like the line breakers line did hold firm against the Centaurs. And as I said, like, it might not be a bad idea to now send reinforcements around this side. Like, it could have been a good idea to send this kind of clump of infantry to this other side. Obviously, also taking this victory point as well would have been a much needed position to secure. Crossbow fire just hitting down Grimgor. I think Grimgor gets a nice little bonus to his missile block, if I'm not mistaken, from his legendary weapons. Maybe it's his cloak which gives it? Or does he not? I guess he doesn't have his cloak. I mean, he does get 15% missile resistance. So yeah, he is pretty decent anyway. But I guess we'll just watch this other assault over here on this other side. Oh, the siege tank is... Oh no, it's actually a brand new siege tank. My god. The Empire have brought all of their defenses. I feel like the Force of Chaos just haven't turned up for the end times, you know. Everyone RSVP'd and half the Chaos end time forces just couldn't really be bothered to make their appearance. Whereas the entire arsenal of the Empire did turn up, bringing their +1. The +1 being the dwarves. Yeah, this siege tank is just going to be running them through. The Hellstorm rocket battery as well, taking every advantage. Oh, what the fuck is this? That is an amazing... That must be a custom spell, right? That looks dope as hell, whoever made that. God, the modders in Warhammer are just so fucking good. Like, the stuff they create is just epic, it really is. And it's just a shame that, you know, Attila and stuff doesn't have the modability that they do in Warhammer. But then again, no, but it's not even that, because if anything, Attila is better moddable because you can add in custom assets. Warhammer isn't, but it's just the tools for Warhammer allow them to do a lot more of what they have. Because in Warhammer, there's only so much you can do. You have to use your pre-existing assets, but you can make assets out of other assets. So for example, you can make a sword out of, you know, 4 other swords and make it into just one big one, taking like a pommel from one, the blade from the other, inscriptions from another sword, and put them, just kind of combine them into one sword. We're gonna be getting the demigryphs charging up. But it's just a shame, like, because if the tools were better, like they are, if the Warhammer tools were in Attila, we'd be having some insane stuff. Like, the sieges would just be crazy cool. Imagine all the castles they could make. Obviously, the like 7 Kingdoms and Game of Thrones mods would be, and Lord of the Rings mods would be so much better. It's just a shame, really. More infantry being brought up as Grimgor is just taking a nice little rest in the shade right now. You know, he's not really into the whole getting shot by arrows anymore, so he's going to be falling back. Yep, and on this right-hand side, there's only, what, a handful of soldiers still left remaining. Some archers and some Chaos Spawn. And the Chaos Spawn are already being smashed by the steam tank itself. And this does look cool, don't get me wrong. Got ranks of soldiers. These Chaos Spawn are fucking massive as well. One of them are already hitting the dirt. Oh no, that's his animation. I mean, they're going to be doing a lot of damage, but I mean, there's still just so many soldiers left. I doubt these guys have any ammunition left. They do actually have some ammunition left, so they could be shooting these guys as well, killing them that little bit quicker. I mean, this death box, though, how is anyone ever supposed to break this? And as you can see, the balance of power very much shifting in favor of the attackers. I'm going to speed things up right now, just so we can maybe watch the final stand, because it does feel to me that this battle is more than over, and the defenders have clearly won, as they do push in more and more soldiers to finish this up. We'll go back on to normal speed for a bit. It's good to see more. Like, I mean, I guess this battle wasn't more about it being close, more so that it was a cool looking battle.
At speed.
And this unit is very cool as well. I definitely do like the look with their custom swords and armor.
Take position. Formation. March.
God, then their dual wielding weapons are just deadly. More and more infantry being pushed out. We do have some of the forces, the Zinch warriors making their way in, trying to go ahead and challenge the front battle lines. Grimgor is actually even up here as well. Grimgor fucking Ungrim. Have I been calling him Grimgor this entire time? Ungrim. Sorry, I can't have. If I did, sorry, not sorry.
Seeking enemy.
Ungrim though. I kind of feel like I did. Just to show how long it's been since I played Warhammer. And it's not because I thought he was Grimgor. Obviously, we know who Grimgor is. It's just been so long, and I guess it's been that little disconnect.
Formation. March.
And the names are quite similar as well. That's my excuse. If I had, I can't even remember if I did though. But Ungrim is going to be in there. Oh, the grenades as well. Look at their grenades. They're just like explosive blasts coming in, hitting these back ranks. God, they just don't stand a chance, right? I mean, look how many men the forces of good still have left. Like, they have some crazy infantry still left remaining. Something I would love, like, to have happen in these lore battles is maybe having stages, right? So we have like 2 stages to the end time siege of Middelheim, where the first battle is just completely for the walls, and you have 4 versus 4, everyone fighting for the walls. Then the part 2 of the battle, which is a completely separate battle, is now fighting for all the streets. And then maybe like each battle, like, and then the final battle is the fight for the last kind of stand at the city centre. And maybe you start off with like a 4v4 and everyone gets a decent amount of money, and then maybe the winners of the first battle, you know, if it is the attackers, which it should be, they get a bit more money. And then the next battle, for the streets themselves, the winner gets maybe a bit more money extra. So if the defenders win, they still get, they still get pushed back, but they get a bit more money to have them the final last stand. Something like that I think would be really, really cool. and then kind of like the battle starts at the battle, like, so they'll just start the battle with the attacking forces inside the city, ready to assault the next layer. I think that'd be really, really cool, like really, really cool, because that way we can still have these epic scale battles, but there's more of a story to them, and it doesn't kind of get to this point where there's only like 100 soldiers fighting 100 soldiers right towards the end. Kind of almost like waves, you know, 3 battles, 3 separate videos, all just within the same map and scenario. I think that'd be really cool. Let me know what you guys think about the idea in the comments down below. I think that could be very exciting to do, and maybe something I will follow up on when Mortal Empires does come out. But I think there we have it. I think the battle is very much over on both sides. It's just like some archers left remaining over here, and we have the forces moving in. But yeah, these guys are going to die very soon. We do have Boris Tobringer though leading the front lines, and there's boys just turn up just behind him. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and skip towards the end of the battle results, so we can basically just see who got the most kills. And there we have it. Sigmar did prevail this day, claiming a Pyrrhic victory. I definitely think it was more than a Pyrrhic victory, because the forces of good just absolutely slaughtered them. It wasn't even close. So if we take a look at the defenders, we can see that their forces of the dismantled Knights of the Blazing Sun getting 100 kills there on the forces of White Wolf. The dwarfs themselves doing very nice, and this cannon battery 45 kills, and obviously 137 on these berserker units. Then finally the other defending force, oh my god, yeah, these hammers of Sigmar just decapitated the initial assault from the Beastmen. Didn't really even stand a chance. Over on the Beastmen, the Zinchballs 159 kills. On the other armies, we can see as well a few of them racking up a nice amount of 60 kills on some Centaurs, which is always good, and 100 kills on the Cygor. And then finally, the last Chaos Army, 126 on Archeon, is always very impressive, and the Bloodletter as well, doing an awesome, awesome job. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this. If you want to see more Warhammer on the channel, make sure to go ahead and drop a like and a comment down below, and I will see you guys in the next one.